We're getting ready to take this basic greenhouse and turn it into a premium greenhouse. Stay tuned for upgrades. Welcome back. I'm Josh, and if you just finished watching the video where I put this greenhouse together, here we are to make the upgrades. If you haven't seen the video of putting the greenhouse together, I'll put a link in the description. You can go take a look at that if you want to. But I just finished assembling this. I gathered up all of the upgrade items, and we're going to go ahead and start installing those. So we're going to put in a floor out of these 4x4s here, and I'll eventually put in some decking. I haven't found exactly what I want to put in for the floor decking yet, so we'll get back to that. But what this is going to do is it's going to add weight to the greenhouse, and that's how I'm hoping it'll keep it from blowing over in a high wind. Those 4x4s weigh a substantial amount, plus the plants and things that'll be inside will just help keep it weighted down. In the previous video I said I wanted a greenhouse with a small footprint so I can move it from here. Right now it's 5 o'clock in the evening, and you can see it's getting the last sun of the day. Here's the shade line. So right now, this time of year, it's getting the most sun. It's still early spring. But in the high summer, I want to be able to move it from here to over here on the other side of the patio, where it gets more shade in the midday. And to do that, I have some casters that I'm going to add to the flooring. And these casters aren't always in contact. They have a step down function. We'll see it once we get it together, that lifts it up. And then we'll be able to roll it where we want it to go. The next thing that we have is an automatic opener for the vent. It uses a hydraulic plunger. I have it disconnected right now because you can't mess with it when it's in here. But as this heats up and cools down, the plunger extends and retracts automatically. It says between about 60 to 70 degrees it begins opening, and then lower end it'll close. So that might be a nice little bonus. And then for the cold nights, I have a heater. This is an electric blower heater, and it has a thermostat module. You set the temperature that you want it to be, and it'll hold it there. This will only be used in the winter months. And then lastly, this isn't really an upgrade to the greenhouse. This is an upgrade for me to be able to monitor the temperature inside the greenhouse. So this is a temperature and humidity sensor. It talks to the weather station that's on the back of the property on top of the shed. And then it reports to the app that I have on my phone and tells me what the temperature and humidity is on this. And I'll place this inside the greenhouse. Then the third episode I plan on doing concerning the greenhouse will be greenhouse automations. And I'll be able to do some automations based on maybe fans turning on and off from the temperature and humidity inside the greenhouse. Maybe I'll be able to upgrade the opener. Instead of it being a temperature sensitive opener, maybe I'll be able to open and close it if it's gusting wind. Nighttime, close it using an electric actuator. So that's going to be a technical video where I do some integration with my home automation system. Right now we're going to start with the floor. So I'm not going to get too overly engineered here with the floor. I'm going to put the flooring together with some L brackets and some decking screws, and then set the greenhouse on top. So stick with us. We're going to get started. I'm going to move some stuff around here, and then I'll detail the parts that need a little extra explaining. As you can see, the greenhouse is very light, so it needs a little extra weight to help hold it to the patio. So that's the basic framing of it. I have two inside support frames. But I want to line those up once I get the greenhouse set on top to be kind of in line with the door frame. But you get the idea. And then once I figure out what the planking is going to be, I'll put a flooring on it, so we're not always having to step over these. It'll add a little extra weight to the overall greenhouse. I'm not going to put it right to the edges of the patio because I still need to be able to get up next to it with a lawnmower and the weed eater, and I don't want to damage the greenhouse. Almost like I planned it. Then we use the same L brackets to secure the greenhouse to the flooring. Just different screws that go into the aluminum channel, which I forgot. I'll be right back. What I'll do here is I'm going to put on the GoPro. So when I'm inside the greenhouse, you've got an idea of what I'm doing. Turn it on. Start recording. Okay, now we can put it on. And I got the screws. Okay, let me get 4 L brackets. 4 of the big screws, and here we go. So I'm going to come right here at the corner. I'm going to put in 1 big screw. That's probably loud. And then gonna screw the Just like that. Now, I don't think I need to demonstrate that 3 more times, but I'm going to do it in each corner. Stay tuned. Floor, frame done. Greenhouse connected to frame. Much heavier. I still don't have the center supports connected. So that'll add a few more pounds. Let's do that now. Okay, so the cross support pieces, I'm going to face them together with the same L brackets and the same screws. Not extremely detailed there. And I'm going to line them up here with these upright supports. Oh yeah, that's already significantly heavier. And once there's decking and plants and stuff inside, I think we're gonna be safe. I'm gonna move the camera here and give you a view inside. So this is what it looks like inside. So there's enough edge for the decking to be supported on. With that, I think the next one we'll start on is the casters. So I ordered this on Amazon. Looks like it comes with a little multi-tool, the wheels, and like the L brackets, we'll video doing one of these, but I don't think there's any need for us to go in detail with them all. There's these pieces. These pieces, many pieces. We need instructions. Here they are. It comes with a template for how it mounts. That's this piece that mounts here, and the flooring goes down there. So I looked at this before, and I did notice that the template is taller than the 4x4. I'm going to put the wheels on the ends though. So I cut these plywood blocks to compensate. So the plywood block will go on the outside. We'll use the template and then attach the wheel. So that's how we're going to do that. I need to find the directions on how to put those parts together. Guess this is it. Whoa, these may be worse instructions than the greenhouse. Because it's no real directions. Step 1, assemble the 3 parts with the screws and nuts. Step 2, assemble the caster with the step down parts. Finish. Well, we shall see if it's that easy. Alright, so we have the camera repositioned a little bit better. I went and got some tools to make the job a little bit easier. We sorted everything out, made some sense of it. We had our directions, but I've seen that they've blown away. Here they are. Okay, so according to the picture, this piece here, this piece here, this piece up here. Parts of hardware. Assemble the 3 parts with screws and nuts. That's the only, those are the only directions that it has. So this bolt with a shoulder is longer, so I'm going to assume that it goes here and then a nut. Finger tight. And this part is skinnier, so I think the shorter bolt goes through there with a nut. Listen, companies, if you have something that needs assembled, work on your directions. This is semi ridiculous. Okay. Oh goodness. And then, so this is the assembly. Caster goes on here with the big nut. And the picture's wrong. Or the picture looks to be wrong. So, you know, I'd like to say that there's a link to this kit on Amazon in the description. And get it if you want. It was pretty cheap. But a picture for directions. Dumb. I mean, if the picture has enough level of detail where you can determine the way pieces are facing without trial and error like we just did, fine. But see, here's what the difference is. See how this fits inside of that part? That's what we're looking for. So then the caster goes on the top here. And I think I'm going to use their wrench here to hold the top of the caster. Tighten that down. So whenever it's up like this, it's not contacting. You step on it and it lifts everything up. So let's go ahead and get one installed. So that you can see the operation. Now it's like this. Whenever this is up, the caster's not in contact with the ground. You step on this and it raises everything up, so then it rolls around. And then you lift this back up with your toe and it lets it sit back on the ground. So let's get our template. It goes there. We're going to get one of these guys. It's going to go like that. We're going to use long decking screws. To get everything lined up. And I'm actually going to line it up with one that I haven't assembled yet. Okay, this goes there, like this. I'm going to use a screw to make 3 holes, doop doop doop, in the board. And we're going to take, no, there's no way. So it doesn't even show you like the sequence of putting this together. There's no way that you can do this with the caster on. In fact, I'm going to venture to say, install this part and then put together the rest of the pieces after it's installed, because this is just silly. This part goes at the bottom. So we're going to line this up here. Perfect. And we'll do the other ones. Silliness. That's what we're going to do. So this is the correct way. Install this piece. And then install this piece using a long shoulder bolt, like that, a lever foot with a shorter shoulder bolt all the way through. We're learning as we go. And then assemble it on the side. These are actually meant for workbenches. But I don't see why it won't work for this. They're rated for 660 pounds. So I don't think there's any way that the greenhouse weighs 660 pounds without anything in it for when it's time to engage the caster. So we'll go ahead and install the caster now, like that. Our nut. Our ratchet and the provided wrench. Okay, so now a demonstration for you. We've done one. So the sequence, install it while it's on the device. So you can see now, it's barely touching the ground. The greenhouse is secure. Let me make sure that we're in camera here. Put your foot on it, step on it. We did, however, forget the top 3 screws that come with it. I was excited. Do these before you assemble it, I guess. There we go. So, it's up, now it's on the caster. We could roll it around, we'll get all 4 of them on there. Then you're done, you just lift it up. Not in contact anymore. It only lifts it up half an inch or so. So, hang out, and I'll put the other 3 together. I've got all 4 of the casters installed. I've already engaged the far side. So here we step down here, and now we have a greenhouse on wheels that we can move right off into the grass. That we can move wherever we need to, pretty easily. And once wherever we want it, disengage the casters. Set it back down. So, we're in place. All of the screws are tight on the greenhouse, but it still has quite a bit of movement. Not so much this way, but front and back, quite a lot. I think I could fix that in the future if I saw it being a problem with a cable, with a crossed cable with a small turnbuckle to really lock the lateral movement together. That will be for the future. This might not even turn into be a problem, but we'll see. The cabling, that's a fairly easy fix. So for the next upgrade that takes a little bit of doing is the automatic opener for the vent. Now, the heater, it's pretty easy. We set it inside, we plug it in, we set the thermostat to what temperature we want, and boom, we've got a warm greenhouse. The temperature and humidity sensor, I'm just gonna eventually hang it from the ceiling, but right now it just kind of sits on the back ledge. So those upgrades are done. The vent right now works with a stick on a peg, and you pick how open you want it. It can go there, there, or there, or closed. So let's start by removing the vent. So we're going to start by taking these parts off. That's okay. We don't need it. All right. Oh, pick up the screws. Put them in there for now. Okay. So this part connects to the greenhouse. This part connects to the window part, or to the vent. So I dry ran this a little bit earlier just to see what kind of hardware we need. And well, I had it in my pocket. Here we go. Got 2 new bigger screws that I'm dropping. Ouch. We use the same holes that the previous owner was in. I love it. So then I have a nail. And what I'm going to do, because we can't get the bracket onto the frame without it interfering here and keeping it from closing. So we're just going to make some marks. Well, my idea was to make some marks. We might have to go get a Sharpie. Poke a hole through. That's what I was going to do. Just poke a hole. Good enough. We'll start with one. And then the arm comes with this piece. And these screws. It comes with a little bit extra hardware for an installation, but my plan is to put this on the outside and this coming through. Let me see. I don't know if I'll be able to do it from here very easily. Put the third screw through the hole I just punched. Oh my gosh. This is not very easy. The arm is spring-loaded. Okay, I just got that started. What we're gonna do, we're gonna get our nail again. Line up our retainer on the outside, and we're gonna poke another hole in the plastic right through to the retainer. Good. Then take our screw, push it through the hole. Oop, there we go. We are in there. What? think we're just a little skewed. There we go. Yeah. Perfect. And give it a little bit more of a tighten. Okay, that's plenty. There we go. Oh, yeah. It's working. So we have this little retainer clip. We need the plunger. The plunger threads in. And it has two hole choices, the higher you want it to go up. I'm going to shoot for the very first one. Oh my goodness. This isn't easy with it installed. I'm going to say it's near impossible. I can't see when the hole, maybe if I just put it in there, it'll eventually come around and fall into place like a lock tumbler. Oh, I think I felt it. There we go. And then they'll put the retainer clip in. That's it. So then as it warms up, it will push out and open up the vent. As it cools down, which it is right now, it will close everything up. I think I need to tighten these just a little bit more. Yeah. There we go. We'll keep an eye on it over the next couple of days and see how the operation goes. It says it's 60 degrees in here now. I don't know. Sorry. The door's open. I've tested it by putting this in hot water and it worked fine. I tested with putting it in the sun, it worked fine. So we'll see how it works over the next couple of days. Let's wrap it up. Let's talk about what we did today. So today we assembled the greenhouse. That's another previous video. Watch it if you want to. But this video is concentrated on some upgrades to the greenhouse. A flooring frame. We'll eventually put down the flooring planking to give it weight so it won't blow over. That's pretty heavy. We added the casters. So when we want to move the greenhouse around the patio to sweep up, to mow, to get it out of the way, we can. The casters engage and disengage with the ground. We added an automatic opener for the vent, so it will open whenever it gets too hot. It'll close when it gets too cold. We have a heater to keep the greenhouse nice and toasty at night with a thermostat. And we added a temperature and humidity sensor that talks with our weather station, that talks with our home automation system. And then I can monitor the differential between outdoor temperature and inside the greenhouse temperature. plus humidity. Within the next day or two, whenever I get a shelving solution figured out, then the transplants of tomatoes, tomatillos, peppers, and eggplant that we have started inside are going to come out to the greenhouse. It is currently the 16th of April. And we're projected to plant around this time in May. About mid-May, we'll be moving stuff from the greenhouse to the garden. Right now, our tomatoes are already about a foot tall. So they're doing really well. We're going to bring them out here. We'll change up the nutrition a little bit, and we'll do a video addressing that. We did a video at the beginning of the year where we talked about successful tips for starting seeds indoors. We're going to follow that up with success for moving your transplants to the greenhouse. So stay tuned. We've got lots of great content on the way. If you've liked this episode, hit that like button. If you don't want to miss our upcoming episodes, make sure you subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, but it sends more viewers our way. And we want to connect with as many of you as we can. It's our goal here at Better Terra to help people learn and be excited about growing their own vegetables at home. So come on back next time as we keep on working toward a better Terra.